welcome to Reading Tabby. I'm Tabitha, aka Tabby Tabs, and this month is ARC August, according to me. I don't know if that's actually a thing. I'm calling it ARC August. This reading vlog is me trying to get through some of the ARCs that I have from NetGalley. I've started quite a few. My goal is to get through 5 ARCs, 3 books, and 2 comic books. That is my goal. I think I'll be able to accomplish that. I am filming this a little bit later in the day than my other filming, so I am in my swimsuit already. Oh, I can smell the chlorine already. I'm not in the pool, anywhere near the pool yet, but I'm just like so eager to be in the pool because it's so hot today. I was going to go to Spirit of Halloween. I'm going to do that tomorrow because I really just want to be in the pool right now. So I'm going to go through this really quick. ARC August, I'm reading 2 comic books, 3 books. I plan on getting through Daggerbound by Kingfisher. Bridget and Gabe Are Not Okay by Lex Croucher. I plan on getting through Sleepy Hollow, the comic book, Until the Last Light Goes Out by Courtney Gould, A Trade of Blood by Robert Jackson Bennett, and maybe some others. But those are the books that I'm currently reading and trying to get through in the next week and a half or so. I did stop at a couple bookstores this week, so I have a little mini haul as well. Well, 2 bookstores, and then I got my August Aardvark box this week, which included A Trade of Blood, which I know I have the ARC for, but I really wanted this book. I really love the Aardvark books. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. I love these ones. I have all of the Shadow of the Leviathan books from Aardvark. They're just excellent editions and such really nice quality books. So I'm really looking forward to reading that. I also like having the physical books when I'm reading on my lunch break at work because I've been going outside on my lunch breaks, and reading on my tablet is really hard right now because it's the middle of summer and it's so bright outside. So it's really hard for me to read on my tablet with my screen. So I really like having the paperbacks or the hardcovers to read. In addition to A Trade of Blood in my Aardvark box, I also got She's a Doll by Barbara Truelove. This one sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I've seen some great reviews for it already. I'm really excited to read this one. It's about a woman who dies and possesses a doll to get revenge. I think that it's like a female Chucky, I guess. Well, who was Chucky's bride? I forget her name, but it's giving me that vibe. And then at my other local bookstore where one of my book club friends works, they got in a new collection of used books, and they had this beautiful, it looks like it was barely touched copy of The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gilly. Only $10 used, obviously, but it barely looks used. It doesn't even look like the person who owned this cracked the spine even. I hope they did read it. I'm hoping that when I read it, I'm going to love it and want to keep it and not resell it. But this book just looks stunning. I think and it has like a real heft to it too. I think this will be a really good time reading like physically. And then I also at that bookstore picked up a hardcover copy of The Bewitching by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This was one of my favorite books of 2025, which I'm going to make a video going over that, so I won't talk much about this. But this is one of her best ones for sure. It was so good. And then at the bookstore today at Books A Million, I picked up this anthology that I've been wanting to read called Day and Night, put together by Ellen Datlow. Love books like this. I think that's so fun. So I'm really looking forward to checking that out. And now I can finally go out to the pool and go swimming and listen to the rest of my Daggerbound audiobook. I only have like maybe 30 minutes left. I'm at the very end of it. So I will catch you all up in the pool when I'm done listening to that. Yes, I will be recording from the pool. It's Saturday, August 7th. I meant to be reading all week, and I really kind of didn't. I'm intending for this to be ARC August, where I read a bunch of ARCs. I have just been so busy at work. We have some people out, so we're covering, and it's just been really exhausting, where at the end of the day, when I come back home, I really don't want to be reading much of anything because I just don't want my brain to be on. So I've just been relaxing, and plus we had my sister and the nibblings were up for a long time, for a couple days, and so obviously I was preoccupied with them as well. But I'm at Walmart now. I'm gonna make Big ziti for dinner for everyone tonight. I don't know when they'll be back, but I'll be making that. But yeah, I'll get myself all done up. The pool is in at the house as well. It's been fully installed, so that's partially why the kids were all up this weekend, because we were all swimming for a couple of days. But I think I might be swimming this afternoon as well while listening to some audiobooks. I've been listening to Daggerbound by Kingfisher, and I also got Lex Croucher's Bridget and Gabe Are Not Okay. I just recently got the widget for that, so I've been listening to that. I'm about 15% into it. I'm like 85% into Daggerbound, so I'm really liking that one. I'm gonna finish that one today, hopefully, and I think I might try and finish Bridget and Gabe Are Not Okay. And I have the comic book I have 2 comic arcs. One is a Sleepy Hollow sequel, like the movie with Johnny Depp, but it's the sequel to that film, which I'm only like very early into it because I decided to save it for this month. It's okay so far. Nothing astounding yet, but I'll talk more about that once I've actually read more of it, and then I will talk more about the other comic once I've actually started it, because I haven't started it yet. So but I'm gonna go into the store now. Okay, it is after lunch, and I'm at the bookstore. Also, I'm not wearing makeup or anything today because I want to get in the pool later, and I don't like getting in the pool when you've got like a face of makeup on, because it just makes it all feel icky. But I'm at the bookstore now. I'm gonna see if they have something that I'm looking for, and then I'm going to go to Spirit of Halloween because they just opened recently. And I saw online that they had some good stuff in stock, but I need to look at the prices, because if it's really expensive and it's cheap shit, I'm not gonna spring for it. So we'll see. I'll take y'all along with me though. Don't mind me, I'm in the pool. I just finished Daggerbound. I've been listening to it for the last hour or so, just finishing the last 10%. It was so good. 5 out of 5 stars for me. It was everything that I love in a book, and T. Kingfisher always knocks it out the park in my experience. Everything I've read from her has been excellent. She's so good, especially at dialogue and characters. I absolutely love the dialogue in this book. The banter was top tier. She's really great at developing characters, at making them real people using dialogue. The way that they speak is all very different, and I really like there's quite a wide cast of characters in this story as well. We have the main couple, Dervish and Edmund, who I really like their slow burn of a romance, because Edmund's pretty taken with Dervish from the beginning, but Dervish takes time to warm up to Edmund because he's quite different from the sort of people that Dervish typically finds himself tied to because of the aspect of his sword. So he's stuck in a sword, sort of like a genie, and whenever someone withdraws the blade from the sheath, he pops out and protects them essentially, and he is essentially immortal. If he dies, it takes him about a month in the sword to heal, or if he's badly hurt, it can take a couple of weeks to heal up. Things like that happen to him. Edmund is really respectful of him. And so Edmund, I really like, is respectful of his past, even though the dervish is a really playful, kind of almost arrogant character. He constantly tells everyone that he's handsome and perfect and a great swordsman, and it's very funny how often it's mentioned. And he uses that to his advantage to charm people as well. But as the story goes on, they pick up this whole cast of characters that I absolutely love. There's Large Francis, who is a giant talking pill bug. There is Violet the Knoll, which that's another thing. I didn't realize that this fantasy world, I knew it was a fantasy story, but I thought it was historical fiction with the fantasy elements. And no, this is actually like a full-fledged fantasy world, very Dungeons and Dragons-esque, which I played at D&D, so I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that aspect, and when the gnolls popped up, I knew exactly what a gnoll was, so that was pretty, I like that aspect. And there's the whole mythology of this world as well, with all the different gods and the magic that they're capable of doing, that certain people are capable of doing. It was just it's just so interesting, and I really wish there was more of that in this story, to be honest. But this was, I'm fairly certain she's going to continue writing in this, because Sword Heart is the first one, but there's apparently a couple of other books that also take place in this same world. So I'm hoping that we get a sequel to this. Although it'll probably be a sequel like Daggerbound was a sequel to Sword Heart. So I haven't read Sword Heart, but I know it features Hala and Sarkis, as the main characters, and they are side characters in Daggerbound. But the Sarkis and Dervish were in the same mercenary group 500 years previous to the events of Daggerbound and Sword Heart. And so they have that's their connection. So they were talking about a couple of others in their mercenary group that were put into swords. So I think if T. Kingfisher does write a third or a fourth, it's probably going to focus on another of the swords. But I do hope that, like in Daggerbound, with the, first book's characters showing up, that in any future books that we get more of Dervish and Edmund, because I really liked them together. They were so sweet, a totally cute couple by the end. But I really liked, like I said, all the characters in the story were so interesting and cool and so much fun to read. I think that the plot was perfectly paced, to be honest. I never felt like anything was really dragging, although they did travel for a really long time, and it felt like that went on just a little bit too long. But it was still a lot of fun to read, like the adventures and things that they go through while on the road. Obviously that goes towards developing Edmund and Dervish's relationship, as well as developing the characters of Violet and Francis and their relationship to Edmund and Dervish as well. So it's all in service to other aspects of the story, of course. But yeah, overall, 5 out of 5 stars. This was everything that I wanted it to be. It was so good. This is absolutely a romantasy story as well, and I will be recommending it to my book club should we get the chance to, because I think they'd all really enjoy this one as well. It was so cute. It was so cute. It is 5 o'clock, so I got changed. I have my tripod because I'm going to go make dinner now, and I'm going to record some of that, but I'm also going to just listen to A Trade of Blood for a bit, because I did pick up the audiobook, even though I own it, and I have the ARC, and I just love it, so I don't mind Robert Jackson Bennett getting my money. It's just a great story. But I'm going to listen to A Trade of Blood while making my bake CD. I'll record some of that as well. And then I'm hoping tonight folks will want to play 221 B Baker Street. It's a Sherlock Holmes detective game, and I really like it. We've played it every night this week, I think. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that will make that happen. So I'm gonna go make dinner now. I'm just now leaving the mall. I just left Spirit of Halloween and I went to a couple other stores. I'm going to film this as quickly as I can because it is so hot in this car, and if I turn the car on, you'll hear the air, and it's too loud. So I'm refilming this now. I'm going to go over my mall haul just really quick. I did want to stop at the bookstore and pick up Sword Heart, which is the first book to Daggerbound that I just finished, that you just literally heard me raving about. Loved it. And I do want to get Sword Heart, but I think I'm going to get the audiobook for that because I had the ALC for Daggerbound, and I'm pretty sure it's the same narrator for the first book, and she did so good on Daggerbound that I really want to listen. So I think I'm going to get the audiobook for that. Anyway, mall haul. First stop was Ulta. I really didn't get much. I just picked up some new concealer, because I was almost out, and I used the NARS concealer, which I really like, but it's so expensive. Makeup in general is expensive. I literally bought this is ELF concealer, and it was almost $10, and I was just like, holy crap, since when is ELF $10? Anyway, my main concern was picking up my favorite lip balm, the Smith's Rosebud Salve. This is like, I go through so many of these. They are my all-time favorite. I can't go a day without my Rosebud Salve, and I'm almost out. And Ulta, the only place I can find it is Ulta, and they've been out for like 2-3 months now, and I am literally at the bottom of my tubes. Anyway, I also picked up some candy. I just got, this will last me for a very long time. It's Cinnamon Bears and Banana Runts, which are my favorites. Yes, they do not go together, but they're in the same bag, so oh well. Next up, I went to Spirit of Halloween, of course. That was my main goal, my main reason for going to the mall in the first place, was to go to Spirit of Halloween. First of all, I got some clothes, and I found some really cute shirts. So I'll start with my favorite one. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. It's Ghostface. and it's pink and it's cute, and I can wear that on Valentine's too because it's pink and with a heart, right? That counts. Summerween, Halloween, Winterween, Valentine-ween. It works in my mind. And then I got this Cult Book Club reading circle shirt, which I think looks super cute. I did try these shirts on because I was like extra large. I don't know. I'm a plus size girl, but am I an extra large? Because usually I buy 2X. But anyway, it fit, so I got it. And then I got this hoodie, which I think looks, it's just a simple like skeleton hoodie. So it has like the front with the ribs and your arm bones and everything, and then the back just has the vertebrae for the spine. It's not like super detailed. There's nothing on the hoodie part. There's not a skull. It would have been cool if they'd put like, you know, the back of the skull at least on the back of this, but that's fine. It wasn't very expensive. It was only $35, I think, and the t-shirts were $25, which are overpriced in my opinion. But I also got some decor at Spirit. I picked up this fun, I love skulls and skeletons. I collect them. I have lots of them, and this was a fun one with the fungal stuff because I love fungal horror as well. So I picked this up. I think it looks like a lot of fun, and I love the colors on it, and I'm gonna love having this on my shelves. Then I also picked up this sign, Let's Get Freaky. This was only $4. I was shocked, so I was like, yeah, this is fun. I like it. It's got the skeleton. Let's get it. That'll go on my bookshelves. And then I got this sign to hang on the wall above my bookshelves. Live, laugh, haunt. I thought it was super cute and super simple, and I really liked it. And then last but not least, I got some earrings. These were $10, which I feel is overpriced for sure, but not in a way that, I mean, I paid $4 for this, and this feels like this should have been $10 and these should have been $4. So it evens out in my mind. Girl math, right? That's how that works. Anyway, I had a good day, had a good haul. I'm gonna go home and eat my lunch now because it smells so good, especially in this hot car. I got a gyro from the Greek place in the food court, and their food is so good, so I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna go home, eat my gyro, and then I'm getting in the pool. I'm getting in the pool, and I'm gonna listen to my audiobook, Bridget and Gabe Are Not Okay, which I'm like 15% into that, so I'm gonna listen to more of that today, while I'm bathing in the sun, chilling in the pool, and enjoying my Greek lunch. So I had to stop by Walmart to pick up some groceries, but while I was there, I've been seeing on Instagram, this has nothing to do with books. Well, maybe a little bit, because it is my Bookstagram that I follow a lot of horror adjacent themed accounts, and they've all been talking about the thriller pack, the Angry Orchard thriller pack with featuring Ghostface. So I had to pick it up. I'm not a big drinker, but I do like cider, so I'm gonna give it a try, and I'll let y'all know how it tastes. I'm gonna get in the pool when I get home, put on my audiobook, and try one of those ciders. I think I'm gonna DNF Bloodbound by Ellis Hunter. That's not part of ARC August, but I was reading it for book club. We have book club this weekend, and I think I'm gonna DNF it. I'm like 20% in. The audiobook isn't bad. I like the narrator a lot. There are 2 or 3 narrators, I think, but they're doing a great job. It's just I'm just not really into this story. I'm also super pink because it's so hot. It's like over 100 degrees right now, so I'm like sweating and ready to get in the pool. But I'm gonna keep up with A Trade of Blood, and I'm almost done with Cross My Heart, I Hope You Die. I think I'll finish that tomorrow. And I'm just wanting to make a good dent in Bridget and Gabe Are Not Okay and A Trade of Blood tonight. So that's my goal. Just make a dent. Oh my God, I am like fully sweating. It is so hot. It is Thursday, August 13th, and yes, I am in yet another swimsuit, and yes, I'm going to be getting in the pool again because it's 103 degrees outside. It's too hot to do anything other than swim, I think. And so every day after work this week, I've just wanted to be in the pool. It's literally all I can think about all day, along with A Trade of Blood. I am obsessed with this already. It's so, so good. I'm about 50% into it so far. I'm going to get in the pool, listen to more of the audiobook for it, which has been an experience, by the way, because I did not listen to the audiobook for the first two books. I just read them. And the voices that the narrator is doing for Anna and Din are so different from how I imagine them in my head. Because I'll be honest, I've always kind of imagined Manny Jacinto as Din, and Anna is more like an Olivia Colman type, or like oh my gosh, what's her name? Tilda Swinton. One of them. I've always kind of pictured. So it's been an experience listening to the audiobook for this. A little unusual. I'm getting used to it though. I've listened to a good bit of it so far, along with reading it, because I just love this buttery soft cover. It feels so good. The Aardvark books, they all feel great to me for some reason. They just are so soft. But this and swimming in the pool is literally all I could think about this week. And I wanted to read it so badly on my lunch break today, but I didn't bring it with me to work because I don't want it to get ruined or anything, because it's brand new and it's so beautiful. And so anyway, I was almost done with this book. Oops. No, I had it right. Cross my heart. I Hope You Die by Mallory Arnold. 3.5 stars at the end of the day. It was not bad. I was so close to the end. I only had like this much left. So that's why I told myself I wasn't bringing a new book to work, because I was like, I need to finish this. I'm so close to finishing it. So that's what I did on my lunch break today. And it was 3.5 stars, perfectly fine. It is just a contemporary thriller. I thought it was going to have a supernatural twist to it at some point. It really didn't. And so I was a little disappointed by that. And then I'll say that's because I read How to Survive a Horror Story by this author last year, and I really enjoyed that one. I gave that 4 stars because it was pretty predictable and really cheesy, and it sometimes didn't make sense. But it was a good time. Like, it was a lot of fun. It's a fun story, and it has this supernatural twist to it that I really enjoyed. And so when I saw she was releasing this one, I was like, ooh, I can't wait to see what she does next. Like, because that first book was so much fun. And so reading just a regular old thriller after that was just kind of disappointing. It's not bad. She's a totally fine writer. It's well written. I'll say I did not like how the book was laid out. Like, it's separated into parts, and then there's chapters that alternate between the 3 characters, Ruby, Nora, and Sham. They all have their own POV chapters, and then there's scenes interspersed throughout the novel that are set in the future, that it's set in their future. And it just all together, it kept taking me out of the story, to be honest. It was just a little jarring to be jumping back and forth so much. And then if they were going to do that, I would have actually liked the addition of chapters from Jason's POV. He is a really good antagonist, because he's one of those guys that everyone knows someone like this dude. You know what I mean? Like, he's the guy that changes himself for every girl he dates. He's a nice guy. There's just something about him that just makes you a little bit nervous, but at the same time, so many people are perfectly fine with him. So you're like, okay, I guess I will be too. But there's always this underlying feeling of maybe that's not quite what he is. And so I just thought this was okay. At the end of it, it was just okay. I decided to give this to my sister because I do think that this is one that she'll quite like. She loves thrillers, and she reads lots of them, and I do think that this is a good thriller. Just again, I didn't like how it was put together at the end of the day, and I was just sad that it wasn't as fun as the first book that I read by this author. But again, yeah, not bad at all. 3.5 stars. If you're in the mood for a fun, twisty thriller, this one does take a little bit of time to get off the ground, but the second half of the book is exciting. It is quite fun. So at the end of the day, I recommend it if you're looking for a decent thriller, even though I'm giving it 3.5 stars. Sorry, Mallory Arnold. I gave How to Survive a Horror Story 4 stars, so I feel like I can't give this one 4 stars. So 3.5 stars. Although I'm wearing pink, I'm not Elle Woods, and I will not be doing this review from my lounger, so I've come back up to the camera to talk. I loved this book. I've just finished it. I reread, or I guess I re-listened to the epilogue ×2 because I didn't want this to end. I could have listened to another 100, 200 hours of this. I'm dying for book 4 already, which Robert Jackson Bennett has said he is writing. So excited. This book, chef's kiss, absolute perfection, no notes, nothing wrong with it at all, in my opinion. I think everything about this was perfect. It was perfectly paced. The characters were great. There was some tremendous character growth. Secrets are unraveled. It not just about Anna and Din, but about the canon, about this world. Oh my gosh, everything about this case as well. This is my favorite case. This is my favorite book in the trilogy by far. And I say that having absolutely loved the first and second book so much that I thought there was no way I would love this one even more, and I did love it even more. So in this story, Anna and Din, Anna being the Holmes to Din's Watson, they are investigating a murder. A man from one rich family has murdered the daughter of another rich family. And they're there to investigate, 1, how, and 2, why. And this is like the canton that they go to is like on the brink of war because of this. The tensions are very high. These two families rule this area, and they're really in charge of a lot of the agriculture in the area as well, which is, the bread and butter of the empire, of course. This is where all the cows live, where the feed grows. It's a desperately important part of the empire. And oh my gosh, and then there's the creepy woods nearby that are so fascinating, and I'm just like, I want more about that. I want more about the mysterious animals that work the farms. You just learn so much more in this book, and it's all like, having read the first 2 books, and all the cases are separate, even though like the books will reference each other, the cases are separate. And you can technically jump into this series on the 3rd book. I do think that it'll be a little bit like jumping into the deep end of a pool. And in that, he really assumes that you are familiar with this world as he starts writing it in this book, because he assumes that you've read the first 2 books naturally. But at the same time, I don't think it's like, the story is just so good. Like, it's that good that you will get into it without understanding the magic, the history, the politics, the culture. Like, you can get into this book so easily without knowing any of that, because the story itself is good, the plot, the mystery. There's twist after twist. Oh my god. And then the epilogue, so good. The epilogue was so good. Like I said, I listened to it twice. There are some secrets revealed and more questions asked. Questions that I had in my head, but then I was like, oh, is he gonna go there? Will he go there? And then he did go there, and I was just like, oh my god. That's exactly what I was thinking, and I can't wait for book 4 and seeing if a little bit more is drip revealed to us. I don't want everything revealed all at once. I like that we get like bits and pieces with each book. it feels so real too, because Din has been with Anna for a couple of years now, and he's us basically learning these things along with us. Though obviously having grown up in this world, he's familiar with it, but he is our eyes to this world. And Anna is one mysterious old lady. Like, there are so many questions about her. I can't imagine. I said Olivia Colman the other day, like if they did like a lot, because that's who I kind of picture. Olivia Colman is Anna, and of course Manny Jacinto is Din. That's my mind canon. But I honestly, I think Tilda Swinton as Anna Delabra would just be peak. That would be so good. She would be the perfect Anna Delabra. Oh gosh, there's a couple other actors that I think would be great for this if they ever did a live action. Although honestly, I picture this more like animated in the style of like the cartoon Lord of the Rings, or like The Last Unicorn, that 70s folkish kind of style, that art style that everyone's kind of gnome looking. That's how I picture this world. It's just kind of gnomish, or hobbitish, I guess. Absolutely, but absolutely one of the best stories I've ever read. I know it's August, but I think it's safe to say that this will probably be my favorite read of the year. If another book knocks this out of my number one spot, I will be absolutely shocked. However, I will say the third Alex Stern book, Deadbeat, is coming out, and I'm obsessed with that series as well, and I think there's a very good chance that this will be a competition for real, for my number one favorite. So also, oh my gosh, Alex E. Harrow has the Slantwise Histories coming out later this year as well, but that's a collection of short stories, and I don't know that I'd ever give a collection of short stories my number one spot, unless that short story was like Mr. Death, which is her best short story in my opinion, and she's written a lot of great stuff. Highly recommend checking her out if you haven't already. But I'm really looking forward to that. So those three things, Trade of Blood, Deadbeat, and the Slantwise Histories, they're all in competition for my number one spot this year for my top favorite. Trade of Blood is the only one I've read so far, so that's going to take the spot as of now. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a tough one to kick out. I think there's a very good chance this will be my absolute favorite. Anyway, I'm gonna go continue. I'm gonna get back on my oh, I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna go get back on my lounger. I'm gonna finish Bridget and Gabe Are Not Okay. Well, no, I don't know that I'm gonna finish it. I have I think I'm 40% into that, so I'll probably listen to like another hour and a half or something of that one. But Trade of Blood, 5 stars, absolutely fantabulous, such a great time. Highly recommend reading it, highly recommend listening to the audiobook, just recommend it in general. It's so good. I am at the mall and it's so busy here. I tried recording and there was literally people, I'm parked behind a car. They got out of their car, walked behind their car, stood behind their car and started staring at me. The mall is on the other side of the car. They had no reason to walk to the back and stand there and stare at me. It was so weird. Anyway, I had to stop and I'm refilming now. Anyway, I'm back at the mall because Spirit of Halloween should have more stocked out. They didn't have everything stocked when I went there last week, I think because they just opened and they're still hiring, like I mentioned. So I'm going to stop by, see what they have. I'm also going to stop by TJ Maxx because I've seen online that TJ Maxx is starting to stock all their Halloween stuff and that they have some really cute Halloween stuff. Well, I don't know if my TJ Maxx will have the cute Halloween stuff, but we'll see. And then I also want to get a gyro for lunch. So I'm going to stop at the food court, at the Greek place in the food court, and get a gyro. I did finish Unfinished Tales by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Sean Phillips being the artist, Ed Brubaker being the writer. It's a comic book. They're a pretty established, famous comic book duo. They write a lot of stories they do a lot of comics together where Ed writes and Sean draws. And I really like a lot of their projects. I don't think I've ever given anything less than 3 stars, and a 3-star is still great, right? That's a good review. But this one I gave 4 stars, Unfinished Tales. It was good. it kind of dragged in the start. The middle picked up, and then the end, I really enjoyed the ending a lot. So that pushed it from a 3-star to a 4-star for me. The art, as always, Sean Phillips does a great job. It's very, I mean, obviously it's illustrated because it's an illustrated comic book, but his art style is so grounded, and I just really enjoy it. And then Ed Brubaker's writing is absolutely perfect to go with Sean Phillips' art, because he writes these really grounded, kind of gritty stories about real life. Sometimes they'll have like fantastical aspects to them or whatever. Like he'll do a little, this story in particular was about a writer like George R.R. Martin. He's a famous, George R.R. Martin is famous, but the writer in the comic book, Finnegan Blake, is a famous fantasy writer who is stuck on his last book, and it's been years and years, and his fans are waiting, and obviously inspired by George R.R. Martin. And the book is interspersed with scenes from the book, the story. And so it has some fantastical elements to it, but overall it's a grounded contemporary story. And I tend to really like those from this duo. So I gave it 4 stars at the end. It was good. It had a really great ending twist, in my opinion. I think the twist was really, really good. But I will say, so typically ARCs can be read in the NetGalley app, or you can send them to your Kindle or Kobo. I don't have one of those. I can't remember what it's called. But comic books typically need to be read in the NetGalley app, which you can do on a mobile device. Except for, apparently this comic could only be read in the browser, and I even contacted NetGalley about it, and they're like, yeah, that's just how the publisher set it up. They didn't allow us to download it to the NetGalley shelf app. And I was just like, that is so dumb. I really disliked having to read it at my desk at my PC. I didn't hold that against the book or the publisher. It's Image Comics. I really enjoy Image Comics, so I don't want to hate them, but I'm a bit mad. I was quite annoyed by that. It was just it did not make for the most pleasant reading experience. Anyway, let's go into the mall and see what's going on in here, see if they've got anything good. So I'm reading It's Sleepy Hollow Part 2 of the film. It's like a sequel to the film, but it's a comic, and it's not bad so far. I'm about 106 pages into 131 pages here. Hold on, I want to show some art though. It has some interesting art in it that I quite like. It reminds me a bit of trying to think, In Hell, I think is what I'm thinking of. I can't recall off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up after I'm done reading. But I do really like the art in this a lot. It's very vibey. There's a few different artists working on it, but it's really good altogether. Excellently drawn. The story itself is okay. It's actually quite interesting. I like the callbacks to the first film. I like the evolution of the story. I like the antagonist is quite creepy. It does have to deal with magic. It is a horror comic because it's based off the film, but it's really good. It's really good so far, actually. I'm enjoying it. I'll show a bit more of the art because it's quite nice. I really like the illustrated stuff. It's really good. They did a great job with this, honestly. I thought they did a really good job. The story was quite good as well. I really enjoyed it. So it's a Sleepy Hollow Part 2 Redux. It's there's more. It's Ichabod Crane and Katrina Van Tassel are no longer together. Katrina's returned to Sleepy Hollow. Ichabod's still in New York with young Masbeth, who's not so young anymore. He's grown into a man. This takes place years after the first film. Well, as if there's a second film. Years after the film, this one takes place. And it was really good. So here, I'll just read the back. Based on Tim Burton's classic Sleepy Hollow, 1999, the story continues in this riveting chronicle, a thrilling tale of buried truths, decaying bodies, and rotting vengeful gods. The Headless Horseman hasn't plagued Sleepy Hollow for 15 years now, but unbeknownst to the residents of the Drowsy Valley, a deeper evil lurks in the roots of the town and will stop at nothing to quench its thirst for blood. I really liked it, honestly. I don't think it's a 5-star story, but I'm gonna give it 4.5. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I liked the art. The story itself was spooky. It really felt like a return to the film, which I really enjoyed. Not that I want to, no comment on the people involved in the film. But it is a film that I do have enjoyed over the years. And the story is one that I've always loved. I've always loved the story of Sleepy Hollow. I've been to Sleepy Hollow, to Terrytown with my mom. We went on a road trip back in my 20s. And it was so much fun. We went all over New England. And one of the places we went was Sleepy Hollow. This was late September, so it was just as the leaves were turning. It was before the crazy, like, Halloween rush that the town gets every year. And it was absolutely beautiful. It was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. I love the story of Sleepy Hollow. It's one of my favorites. I reread it every Halloween. So yeah, this was really good. I really liked it. Oh, I never talked about Bridget and Gabe Are Not Okay. So Bridget and Gabe Are Not Okay, it was fine. I gave it 3 stars. Like, it was well written. It was just it was a downer compared to the first book. I'll say that. It's really about I think I mentioned this before. It's about the trauma that the characters went through in the first book. And then in the second book, they're traumatized and they're going through it, and their friends are trying to help them. And like, some of the couples have separated and there's miscommunication, and it's just, I just wasn't feeling it. It was just too much for me. It was just a lot of dialogue as well. There was so much inner thoughts, so much dialogue. It felt like the story moved at a snail's pace. Was there even a story? Was there a plot? I know they were like looking for the Grail at one point. But a lot of it is just them and their issues and them talking to each other. There's some side quests, some knights that pop up. Knights that King Gabriel makes a couple of knights, the new knights of the Round Table. They have relations with neighboring kingdoms. Like, it's just, I don't know. It was okay. It was okay, I thought. If you were a fan of the first book, you'll probably like the second one. Although I liked the first book, and this one I just thought was okay. So I don't know. I think you have to really have loved the first one to love this second one, to be honest, because it's such a tonal shift from the first book. It really is. And I don't know that I liked it so much. So yeah, I just thought it was okay. It was perfectly fine. So that's my first 2 weeks of August. Arc August is what I'm calling it. Getting through some of the arcs that I had from NetGalley. I think I was successful. I got through everything but one. I did still want to read Until the Last Light Goes Out by Courtney Gould, which I will finish that book eventually. It doesn't come out till October, so I still have some time before the actual book is released. So I do plan on reading that. I think I'll save it now for October. Horror book in the month of October is fitting. And I plan to read nothing but horror for October. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'll finish that book then. But the rest of the stories that I managed to read, I think I got through quite a few. I finished Bloodbound by Kingfisher. Finished Cross My Heart, I Hope You Die by Mallory Arnold. Trade of Blood by Robert Jackson Bennett. Bridget and Gabe Are Not Okay by Lex Croucher. And then I read 2 comic books, the Unfinished Tales by Ed Brubaker, and of course this Sleepy Hollow book, which I don't actually know who was this book by. Who was Sleepy Hollow by? I don't know who the actual writers or artists were on this volume. Writer Casey Gilly, artist Savanna Meyer, colorist Dervla Kelly. I think the colorist did a wonderful job. The colors in this, it's like watercolors. Ooh, this is a really nice one. I like that art. I really liked the art in this. It was beautiful. I was really impressed. Then the general art, ooh, I don't know if I can show that. The general art style of the story is very storybook illustration style. I really liked that. I thought it fit the setting quite well, and the story. But if you stuck around to the end, I think this is going to be another long video. I really appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. And I look forward to talking more books with you in the future. Bye.